All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to Dead Air. This is episode number 37. This is the 2nd of September 2020, and I'm pretty excited. Hello, Redban. Nice to see you.
What's up, buddy?
And I'm very excited. I got Jay London in the house. We go way back. I think we do. And he's got quite a story. I can't wait to get to that. And Tien. Tien is back with us. Yeah. Very nice to see you, Tien.
Yes,
and we needed you to come back today to add a resemblance of beauty to this particular episode because you got Jay Leno here.
Just keep calling me Jay Leno. It doesn't matter.
Jay London, and Brian Holtzman in Redban. We're kind of hard to look at sometimes, so that's why you're here. No offense.
All right. Happy to help.
We want to hear more about you. We didn't get to hear more about you last time. We always seem to run out of time. And we'll try to get to that today. And, of course, Jay is with us with an interesting story. Jay.
Which one?
Do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God on this podcast?
I do.
Good. And you've been sworn in last time, so I can trust you to do the same.
Right.
I like that yellow top. It really accents your skin tone.
Oh, wow.
Dynamite. And Bad Ashley, that's the music for the podcast. Bad Ashley has been nice enough to supply the music, and they're doing great. They're a band out of New York, and they've got a lot of things going. Bad Ashley Band on Instagram and Spotify, and to YouTube, Facebook, and 99-cent store, and everything else. Queens, New York. So before I get into some of the items of interest and some of the other things we do, why don't you just give us a little bit of you, Jay? Because I was told to get to know the guest before I start.
Interrogate.
No. You're originally from back east, born in the Bronx, raised in Queens.
Correct.
Cab driver.
Yes, sir.
Boxer.
Well, sparring partner. I like to use that word better.
Well, you're in the ring. We're going to call you a boxer, okay?
Yes, please do that.
We can't call you a golfer. We can't call you a softball player.
True.
You're in the ring. You've got gloves on.
Yes.
You know, I know you don't want to be called a boxer, but I don't know what else to call you if you're inside the ring.
That's right.
So, Last Comic Standing, 2 seasons, not
sir.
1. They were so excited with his performance and his likability that they brought him back for a 2nd season, which is unheard of. He wasn't successful in either one, but he was very popular, and he did very, very well. People liked what you had to say and what you did.
Yeah, I was the people's favorite.
You're not going to take up all the space
on that, no.
We had a guy last week that just kept talking. I mean, that guy had more to say about anything in the whole wide world. So thank you, Jay. That's good that we got to know you, and we're going to get to know you a little bit more.
Sure.
There you are, right there.
I am. Well, yeah.
You are all about to find out, people at home, who will join the 5 finalists next Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, 8 10.
Yeah, you were my favorite on that show. Like he was.
He nailed it. They loved it. Oh, you were a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, that was I say the way my career is going, I should be on Cops pretty soon. From that.
Get right in that mic.
From that.
So who won the first season you were on?
What's his name? Dat Fan.
Dat Fam. Oh, there was a revolt against that poor gentleman. He won the whole thing, and all the comics were upset that he won.
Why?
Because he couldn't speak. Did he speak English?
Yes, he did, but it was a controlled English.
Yeah, he won. And then who won this? When you came back, who won again? There he is.
Alonzo Bowden.
Oh, yeah, we had him on the podcast. Yes. Unbelievable. What a voice.
Yes.
But
good guy. All good people.
Oh, yeah, they only, so let's do the weather. Let's get right into Dead Air number 37, everybody. Let's just do it. Today's temperature in Burbank, California. A lot of people are leaving California, but you just really can't beat this weather. I'm telling you, we get a few earthquakes from once in a while, but it's the best weather in the whole country. And the only people who get the wildfires are the idiots who live out in the wilderness with the deer and everything.
Except Saturday and Sunday. You see what it's going to be this weekend?
What's that?
110, as they're saying.
110, oh. Today's temperature is 90 degrees, and I don't have the Celsius. I'm sorry. There's a listener that wants me to. Do you know how to do the Celsius?
But they always say it's 90 degrees, but it feels like 100. How do they know how I feel? See, they never told me how I feel, and that bothers me. But I had to bring that out.
No problem. You're both able to speak. I've been on podcasts where the host talks for the first half hour and then they get to the guest.
Yeah.
And that's not the case here. And I also talked to Max Silverstein. Him and Dylan are going to come back. We had a great. His birthday is on the same. Happy birthday, Max and Dylan. His birthday's August 30th, just like mine. I called him. He called me. We talked. We understood each other, and hopefully we'll get those two guests back, and we'll straighten out what went awry last time.
That's great. Did you have a good birthday?
Oh, yeah. I had some pork chops.
Nice.
I went to Wilmington, California, and had some pork chops. And I had a Carvel ice cream cake, the personal-sized one.
Oh, those are good.
I mean, you just have one piece. I'll take another piece. I'll take another piece. Before you know it, you're eating a box. Yeah.
And you ate that whole tray of cupcakes.
Did you say gavone? A gavone?
Carvel.
Oh, I thought you said a gavone. A gavone in Italian is somebody who keeps taking.
That's an interesting. Show the camera that's an interesting.
It's beach. I'm a water person.
That's why you.
She's the fish.
So you wouldn't want to be landlocked someplace in America. You'd like to be near the ocean.
I like the ocean. It's soothing. It's comforting. In fact, I went there, and I'm not trying to add jokes into here, but
you can if you want. We'll stop you right away if we find out that you're trying to.
He's got good jokes.
No, I went to the beach not too long ago, and before I went in the water, the lifeguard put a DNR bracelet. Yeah, you get it?
No, yes, I do. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like you, Jay. We're gonna get along just fine.
Got it.
No, a lot of people come on. They seem like they think I'm gonna somehow not be a nice person. Dew point is 58 degrees Fahrenheit is the dew point. And I think, does everybody have their cell phones off? I forgot to turn mine off. If it's your phone call, if your cell phone goes off during the podcast, you have to get up on the table and take your pants off. So you can leave yours on.
All right. It's like, anything else
that was a terrible thing to say.
Yikes. Should have rethought that this morning.
What is...
How do I
Did you turn it off?
Yeah, maybe.
I have it here. Dew point. Yeah, I did some research for the show. Dew point. The atmospheric temperature varying according to pressure and humidity, below which water droplets begin to condense and dew can form. So that's the dew point. Okay? And humidity. Humidity is the state of quality of being humid, a quality representing the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere or in the gas. So there you go. Some of these things are making sense to us now. The winds are again out of 10 to 15 miles an hour from the south, but sometimes they come out of the north at 3 miles an hour. I think the weather's cool. I mean, this is our planet. This is what we breathe. It'd be like the catfish who's always interested in the bottom of the ocean. We're interested in our biosphere. And I also read that the layer of usable oxygen and what keeps us alive is very, very thin. Very thin. Compared to the whole other gases that are inert and...
Trying to kill us?
Well, dealing with erosion and whatever. You see what's happening to Miami coastline as far as the hotels are getting closer to the ocean, and now they're going to have to use high architectural ways to push the terrain back because it's ready to flood the whole.
Oh yeah,
Miami.
In 2055 or 2159, it's a 3 or 4 foot sea level rise.
Yes, I just
And these people are saying, "Oh, there's no such thing as climate change. There's no such thing as climate change." You idiot! You box of rocks! You dumb box of hammers! You hardware store employee who's drunk in the back room! You idiot! Okay, winds are, we did the winds. The moon is going to be a waning moon, gibbous, 99% viewable. Last night was a full moon.
It was a full moon, yeah.
And what is this? It's going to rise at 8:01 p.m. and set at 6:45 a.m. And a lot of people don't know because they're not up at this early. When I used to work, I used to have to go in early. And you've probably seen it because you love the ocean.
Yeah.
When the moon sets just like the sun sets, it'll go right on top of the ocean. Just like a sunset. Have you seen it?
I think I have.
It's just beautiful,
Yeah,
and it reflects
it's great.
off the ocean.
It's so bright.
And you just go, wow, I'm glad I had this day job, or else I wouldn't have seen this shit. I'm glad I'm working. High tide is going to be at 10:08 p.m. No one cares about low tide because everybody knows you can tell it's low tide. It's real easy to tell low tide.
And you feel it too.
And the sunset is at 7:19 p.m., so that's getting earlier and earlier. The humidity is 47%. That's the moisture in the air, I guess. The UV is very high, number 9. Watch out for those ultraviolet rays.
No, I don't go outside.
And air quality is moderate. It's number 54, whatever that 54 means. And the visibility, of course, if you're a pilot, is always 10 miles. I guess that's the naked eye can see for 10 miles. I'm not sure.
Wow.
You'd have to talk to a farmer or a pilot. And the chance of rain is 0. The hottest place is in Kuwait or Iraq. It switches back and forth every second. Coldest, again, is Antarctica.
Where's Death Valley?
Death Valley hit a record a couple of weeks ago. It's not in here now. I don't have any record on what's going on in Death Valley. And they probably need more gas stations in Death Valley. I want to go there, but I'm afraid of running out of gas, especially on a motorcycle.
And running out of travel agents.
The coldest place, it's negative 63 degrees Celsius and a negative 81 degrees Fahrenheit for you people who want to hear both. The driest place, it's probably in Kuwait or Iraq, I guess. And the wettest place is in Sri Lanka. Some of the big items that happened today in history on this date in September 2nd is in 1789, the U.S. Department of Treasury was founded.
Wow. I wish I cashed in. I'm going to say anything just I'm going to cash in. I want to cash in.
You know? 1789. Holy cow. That was before dirty magazines. 1859 was an electrical solar superstorm. It wrecked the electrical telegraph service in 1859. I don't even know what in 1859 they knew about that stuff. But 1912, this is a good one. Arthur Rose Eldridge was the first Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America, which was started in 1911. There are 2.5 million Eagle Scouts. And if you become an Eagle Scout, you're eligible to be in the National Eagle Scout Association. So that's good to know. Go ahead.
Yeah, but how many are suing?
Yeah, I know. I see it. I'm going to sue because we went to the Delaware River Gap for the canoe trip, and they took us to see that movie Deliverance. And it really bothered me seeing those men have sex with each other, and I was too young to realize what was going on. It was just disturbing between Burt Reynolds' leg coming out of his compound fracture and then the hillbillies having sex with the hunter's ass. I mean, it was too much. So I'm going to file a claim if it's not too late.
Trauma.
Yeah, it's like I've never been the same after that canoe trip. Trauma. Between the rapids and thinking about drowning in the stupid rapids and then seeing Deliverance in the theater.
Oh no!
Fuck, it effed me
I've
up.
never seen Deliverance.
You don't want to see it, sweetie pie.
I don't want to see it.
If you see it, you gotta be careful.
You gotta get right close to that mic. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just say it again.
I said I've never seen Deliverance.
Right.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
You should watch it, but watch it with.
Should I?
Watch it with an adult. And some.
Yeah, don't watch it with kids.
Oh no!
Squee! 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 Oh, it's disturbing. What? Oh my God! And the banjo playing. Nobody likes a banjo.
Sounds terrible.
That comic is pushing that banjo. I'd rather see a guitar. I don't know if banjo is the most popular.
It's the wrong music. It's
just like, what are you going to do? Take your pants off and do stuff that's going to get you in trouble?
Oh my.
There it is. You think I have a case, Jay?
Oh, definitely. I know people.
But I can't remember the exact date of the canoe trip. I can't remember well, I can just narrow it down to when Deliverance was in the theaters.
And you work around it.
The lawyer may be able to take the case. It's worth it.
It's funny about that Boy Scouts, like them suing the Boy Scouts and everything. Me and somebody else that was a Boy Scout, we both got the same email out of nowhere saying, hey, we'd like you to join. If anything happened, let us know. Join this lawsuit. And I'm like, how the fuck did you know I was a Boy Scout? Like, I didn't have email when I was a Boy Scout. And what list am I on that I'm a Boy Scout?
They want you to be part of a class action lawsuit. Yeah. Well, Excuse me. Were you in the Boy Scouts, Jake?
No, but I had an incidental at a camp. At that time they were called bungalow colonies in upstate New York, Catskills.
What happened to you, Jay?
No, this individual was a head of a group, from.
What happened to you, Jay?
40. No, he just tried to get fresh with my lower back area.
Really? That's how they start. They start with a massage. I had a friend of mine. She was going through some kind of acting training, reading the scripts, and she had this guy in the apartment.
Yeah.
And she was looking down at the script, and then when she turned around, the guy was fully naked. All he had on was a pair of black socks.
Ew.
Yeah.
So you got to watch it. Some
Yikes.
guys, they have different agendas. Look at this. The podcast has not even started yet, and the paper is sticking to my arm.
That's a beautiful.
Can you believe it?
It's a beautiful thing.
Can't stand when that happens. The official Boy Scout handbook. Yeah, this is amazing that they're out of business, they're bankrupt, and now they're being sued by every lawyer in the whole world. This could be a picture. I could be on the front of this. That looks like the Delaware Water Gap.
That's what I used to bite on.
Did you go on a canoe trip?
Oh, no.
Did you go on a canoe trip?
Oh, I used to go canoeing all the time. I love canoeing.
Those damn canoes, they just want to turn over. They just
Yeah.
want to turn over. They're like condoms. They just want to fall off. They just want to fall off, man. You put a condom on and you say, "Oh my God, how do you keep this thing on?" Well, you better have a bigger what. Then maybe it'll stay on. Oh my God.
Oh,
So only 4% of Boy Scouts become Eagle Scouts. And you have to have 21 merit badges just to qualify.
Is Eagle Scout like the top tier?
Oh, yes.
That's it.
Well, yes, that's as high as you can
Where
go.
do
From
go
there,
in
you become a
between that?
senator
Where do you-
Or an addict, or a drug addict,
or a wrestling coach that molests all the boys.
Oh,
Yeah, or a drug
And then you
addict.
run for senator or congressman. Yeah, that's what you do.
Or a drug addict, or whatever.
Or you go to the airport and drill holes in
Alcoholic.
the bathroom. And,
voyeurism.
well, not only that, they. So Boy Scouts of America. I think I'm going to make a claim. So that's that. I don't know who Arthur Rose. Why would he have a woman's middle name? Arthur Rose Eldred, first Eagle Scout. And I'm glad I shut my phone off. Tried to take another video today. I saw a machine that cuts the stumps. But somebody called me, and it's hard to make videos. So.
You got to just put it in airplane mode.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
1945, the Japanese surrendered on the battleship Missouri, which is now anchored down in San Pedro. You can go there when they have tours, when they open it back up. It's pretty interesting. Talk about a big gun. No offense. Talk about a big gun. They got some big guns on there. I mean, battleship Missouri, USS Missouri, and they surrendered in Tokyo Bay. And the guy who surrendered was, his name was Benihana. I think his name was Benihana. I can pronounce Benihana. I can't pronounce his name. Mamoru Mamaro. And the last name, I guess, is, anything after 4 letters.
Get lost.
It's gone. It's gone. I don't know why they have to. SHIGEMITSU. Surrendered. 1945 today. Wow. You weren't even born yet, huh?
No, not even close.
Jesus. 1963, CBS Evening News went from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and it was the first network to do so. 1963, I was 2 years old. And 2013, we have 2 of the same things for the same thing. That big earthquake during the World Series, the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989.
Where that highway collapsed and the San Francisco Giants were playing. I was watching
Exactly.
the game, and he started to call up the whole game.
I was in an airport stall, drilling a hole through the partition when that earthquake hit. Anyway,
It's interesting.
and then so the eastern span of the Bay Bridge opened today at 10:15 p.m. It cost, listen to this, Redban, $6.4 billion to fix this stupid bridge.
Oh my God.
How much is concrete? How much is concrete, Jay?
It's a bridge over troubled waters. That's why it cost $6 billion. That's why it cost $6 billion.
That's a lot of concrete. Come on. I mean, a lot of money for sand and concrete, for crying out loud, and some metal, some wires, or what do they call them? Yeah, there it is. $6.4 billion. No wonder they're not fixing any roads or bridges. They don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, that was the earthquake that I think that a lot of us that didn't live in California, when we saw it, we were like, fuck earthquakes. I'm scared of going to California. You know?
There was a motorcycle police officer who was on the freeway that broke, and he just sailed right off the end. Remember that? Another guy got stuck in his car, this big, heavy set. I don't, you can't say fat anymore, but he was a fat guy, and the car got squished just about as big as about this much, maybe this much, and he survived, and they got him out under the 280.
Yeah, it collapsed this way. You know.
Cohen Nolan. And the other thing about the same thing on this day is when they opened up the bridge, it became the widest bridge in the world. I think there's 480 lanes, and that's the eastern span of the Oakland Bay Bridge. Wow. And those are some of the interesting things that happen on today's date. And so before I hit some items of interest, what's been going on with you lately?
What's been going on with me?
You know, since we last saw you, is everything fine?
Everything's good. I've been skating.
Roller skating. I noticed
Roller
some of your Instagram posts are quite attractive.
Still thirsting on the Instagram. Still thirst trapping, whatever that is. So I can't even get the terms right. It's fine.
So you like roller skates or better than roller blades? What's the pros and cons on that?
I haven't bladed in a long time. I want to get blades because I feel like you can do more terrain on them. My boyfriend rollerblades. He goes crazy.
Please don't mention a boyfriend. Husbands you can mention, but boyfriends and girlfriends in Hollywood and LA, they really don't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it. Oh, I am a boyfriend. So what? We'll make sure he's not home. You know, I've got a girlfriend. Yeah, she's everybody's boyfriend and girlfriend when you're not around. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Jeez.
Yeah. Quads are cool. Quads are cool because you can do cute little dances and stuff. You have more stability.
Right.
The roller skates.
Did you go down on the beach path down there?
I have.
We have beaches in California.
Yeah.
Beaches. They're called beaches.
Beaches.
Plenty of beaches. And do you put knee pads on?
Oh yeah.
When you roller skate?
I wear all the pads because I'm really clumsy. So
it's good. You don't want to scar up your body and get injured.
I got a helmet. Like, I don't know. People, I don't see why you wouldn't wear a helmet.
Yeah, you're asking for a head injury.
Yeah.
What do you do for physical fitness? You look like a pretty fit guy.
No, well, I resort to weights.
Did your gym burn down?
No.
No, go ahead.
I resort to weights here and there. And that's
Me too.
That's basically it. I've been, I wish I had a little heavy bag in where I live, but I don't, just to get off energy.
I walk every day for 1 hour as soon as I wake up.
That's beautiful.
Get it over with. My friend Mike Burke said, if you don't do it right when you wake up, it's not going to get done. Things come up during the day, and you're just not going to get it done. Are you involved in some kind of exercise program yourself?
No programs. I actually have weights, though, too. So I do weights. I have a yoga mat. I do that at home, I guess. Run around up and down the hills around my neighborhood.
And what's your nationality again? Tell us for some of the listeners that perhaps didn't see last year. You're kind of Vietnamese, right?
I'm Vietnamese. Yeah, you remembered. Yeah, right. I was born in America, so technically just American.
So you're full breed Vietnamese?
I am.
How about you, Jay? What the hell are you?
There's a little Spanish within myself. Spanish within myself, maybe Austrian. No, I'm serious, man. Off my grandmother's side, yeah, for real. And that's basically, there's a mixture there. I still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, you're not full breed. You don't have papers.
No, I don't have.
Most people don't have papers.
Well, show me your papers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, let's do some items of interest. But I got so much there it is again. Look at the way it sticks right to your arm. That's like so. I usually like to start off with items of interest on some good stories. More than 100 years, a rare species has returned to Seattle's Mount Rainier National Park: wolverines. Ooh. Wolverines, large, aggressive members of the weasel family, also known as Pauly Shore, used to be common from Canada to Colorado, but they have steadily migrated northward, leaving only a few hundred in the lower 48 states. Last week, camera stations set up by scientists discovered a female wolverine and 2 babies living in the park. It's really, really exciting, said Park Superintendent Chip Jenkins. I mean, what a name. You know the guy's into the superintendent of the park. Chip Jenkins, office, please. Chip Jenkins, office.
They're right up there with the honey badger as the most aggressive.
Is that the Wolverine? Yeah. Oh, you mean that? I know. I have a brother that sometimes I call him a badger. This is more vicious than a badger?
Could be, because when badgers already develop their personality within the womb, they already come out fighting as soon as they're born. You know, they're ready to.
You know what I told someone the other day? Some babies come out head first. Some babies come out feet first.
Yeah.
I came out sideways.
Nice.
My mother had to wear orthopedic shoes for 18 months after I was born. So this is a Wolverine, huh? That's meaner than a. It'll just attack you if it sees you.
They forget it, man.
It faints if it sees a buckeye, though.
Wolverines are back. And they'll start mating, and before you know it, we'll have problems. We'll get the helicopter, we'll get up high, and we'll just start shooting them, I guess, like the pigs. I mean, they just overpopulate. They there's no birth control in nature, you know. And if they have no religion, forget it.
They try different ways of birth control.
Get up in that mic.
Oh, as far as pigeon birth control.
Have they?
Yeah, rat control.
They had a pigeon in Las Vegas with a hat on, and somebody got upset. Remember that, Redban? Yeah. Some idiot got upset because the pigeon had a hat. Could have been a trans pigeon. It just wanted to be different, you know?
There goes the attack.
Oh, no.
Oh, is the Wolverine going to go after the...
Ringo now. He's right up there.
Is the Wolverine going to attack the deer?
I don't know. It looks like it.
Are wolverines like lone creatures?
Are they carnivore?
Yeah, and
oh, yeah, there he is. There he is.
Jeez.
They got a crazy...
no, it's wet. It's usually a fluffy coat. It's wet because it was in a lake.
You got to get on that mic, Jake.
Oh, it was in the lake.
Why don't you just always sit up?
Yeah, I should.
See what I'm sitting up really close.
No, I get it. You're right.
And you're doing a great job. You really are.
Thank you.
And you're excited about all the beauticians opening up now? Everybody can get their hair
Yeah,
done?
I
These women have been
guess
going
so.
nuts about that. It's like the biggest thing in their life. When are you going to open up the salons? The salons. Hey, lady,
I
back
know.
off, lady.
It's a little weird.
They'll open up when they open up.
I'm a
right?
hairstylist, so that's something.
When is that opening up? Do you know?
Today.
I think
Today?
it's like now.
No, I
It's
need
at
a
like
haircut.
25% capacity or something. But I don't know. People are chomping at the bit.
So Chip Jenkins, it tells us that we're doing a good job of managing our wilderness. Way to go, Chip Jenkins. And I don't know. I don't want to do too many of these and then run out of time like we always do. There is a mass crusader on the streets of Santiago, Chile. Santiago, Chile. And he's a guy going around in a Batman costume giving people who need food. So I can just say that. I don't have to go into all that. And Willie Furley watched as a powerful windstorm devastated his Iowa community. Luckily, the grill at his restaurant, this is about a guy who goes around feeding people with his barbecue. So thanks, Wiley Farley. So what year did you graduate from high school?
68. I went to a few different schools. I was an unruly kid. A teenager, unruly at that time.
Were you a bad seed?
No. I used to, I was a formality to watch the movie The Bad Seed. Did you ever see with Patty McCormick?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move these papers.
You never saw
because
The
this is
Bad
gonna
Seed?
continue to stick to my arm. I mean, the temperature's just right, and it's just gonna continue to stick.
47% humidity.
I'm telling you.
today.
Did you ever see The Bad Seed
No, I didn't.
with Patty McCormick?
No. There's so many old movies that they should just start playing.
No, this is classic.
No, they talk like before political correctness. They talk, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, anyway.
they say anything they want to say, and they don't have to watch what they say. It's just great. It's not sanitized. It's not censored.
Yes.
Wealthy New Yorkers in the Hamptons are hiring a doctor to screen their party guests for the coronavirus. Dr. Amsha Rezard says the tests she administers can cost up to $500 per partygoer. but getting results in 10 minutes enables normal festivities instead of having hors d'oeuvres at the party. So now the theme is let's do rapid testing. Oh,
Do you worry about I never worried about social distancing. Do you? You?
I abide by the rules of the community. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm not a rebel.
No. I never had a problem with social distancing.
I just came down the street and forgot my mask in my truck, and I just lost it. I lost it. There was 2 people without masks, and I just lost it. I was going to go back, and I said, I can't go back.
You just got to cross the street at that point.
See, if I had gone back, then I would be late. And
Yeah.
everybody hates people who are late. You got
It's
Apples, you got iPhones, you got watches. Why are you late? Because you're a box of rocks.
It is interesting. Like I'll wake up and forget all about the mask, and I'm like, how am I forgetting about this? I do this every day. I'll be like walking to the store, and I'll walk in, and everyone's looking at me like, oh fuck, and I have to do the fake mask.
A little embarrassing.
It gives you something to look forward to, and we don't have to wear them anymore. It's just going to be like a whole new day.
Well, it'll take away the claustrophobia.
It's going to be, remember the time you first took your first poo-poo without your mom wiping your butt? It's going to be like that.
I wish I could remember that.
Oh yeah, you had to lean over the ma, and you had to lean over the bathtub, ma.
You remember those years?
Oh yeah.
It's been traumatic.
It's that damn Deliverance movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it fell right out.
A group of unknown intruders working under cover of darkness slipped like ninjas into a popular ninja museum in Iga City in Japan. Cracked the safe and made off with more than 1 million yen, which is about $9,470. It was a 3-minute job, said an impressed ninja museum official. With a warning from NASA that a small asteroid, 2018 VP1, may hit Earth on November 2nd, the day before the U.S. presidential election. Fortunately, the asteroid is less than 7 feet across, meaning it would likely burn up in the atmosphere. After a California man saved his workshop from the wildfires by pouring his supply of Bud Light on the flames until firefighters arrived. My buddies all tease me about drinking water beer, said Chad Little, but I say, hey, it saved my shop.
That's great.
Not such a good week here for an Indian woman filed for divorce from her husband, citing his refusal to argue with her. Whenever I make a mistake, he always forgives me. The woman complained to a judge, I am feeling suffocated in such an environment. Yeah, she needs to be hit over the head with a ball-peen hammer.
Come on.
She needs to be strapped to a straight-back chair and abused with cigarette butts. I mean, come on.
Sounds like that's what she wants.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah. Oh my God, you're so supportive.
You guys got great teeth. You got great teeth. Look at you. Both of you got great teeth.
Yeah, but those are hers.
Yeah, but still, they're still great. I don't care. They look, they did a great job. Some people
Yes, they
get
did.
new teeth and they look like piano keys because they're too big for the
Horse.
guy's face. Yeah, horse teeth. Yeah,
Horse teeth.
they did a great job.
I got my braces off and everyone would tease me about having horse teeth.
Let me see. Smile. Wow. Open
Yeah.
Open up.
No,
Open
fine.
up.
And you don't have an overbite? You don't
Open
have-
wide.
It's like it's kind of weird. They didn't fix my jaw, and so it's like a crooked
Wider.
bite. You know? Yeah.
No, you guys, it's like $40,000 to get new. Are they implants?
Yeah, I
Oh my gosh! Front, back and forth, back and down, up and down.
I can only I start to stutter when I get weak in information, so I'm going to start to stutter. Half on, half off. I mean, in other words, some is an implanted bridge and. Whatever.
I talked to a former coworker last night down at the pier, and he said he got an implant way in the back. I said, "What do you? If you don't see it, what do you care? What do you
Yeah.
care? You're only worried about what curb appeal. That's it."
That's
Chewing
right.
teeth, though. Like I have an implant in my back
yeah?
where they drilled it into your skull, and it took like a year. And it's because if I didn't have it, then I couldn't chew. I would constantly get shit in my.
And it shows up on camera. In other words, sometimes if you smile, you will see a gap.
Oh yeah, I see it all the time. And I see my teeth are horrible.
No, I'm not even. I'm saying I didn't notice. I'm just saying. Once you notice the gap, then
So what they got to do is they got to take all the dead or bad teeth out. They got to do gum restoration. You got to let the gums heal before they can screw the implants in. It's a big procedure. I had a friend in Long Island. He showed up party after party with no teeth. I said, when are you going to get some teeth? This is horrible. It makes you look like 100 years old without teeth. It makes you look like...
Yeah. And they liquefy.
I said, Tony, get some effing teeth. Jesus.
And sometimes you have bone decrease in the bone, so there's no more bone left.
Right.
So they use liquefied bone, where they take it.
They told me once I needed gum restoration. I said, listen, as long as my teeth are still in my mouth, they haven't fallen out, I'm not getting no gum. What do they call it? Gum transplant.
Well,
They take
They
gum
have
from,
that?
I think they take the gum from, I don't know where they get the gums from.
from the Boy Scouts.
Hey, you guys have got to get up in that mic. Come on.
From the Boy Scouts. From the Boy Scouts.
One of the most important thing Redban told me is people have to hear the podcast.
Project. Yeah, sorry.
Are you close enough then?
Yeah, I'm close enough.
What?
So that's a crazy lady. I mean, that's just he married a crazy lady. I mean, he just married somebody who's too crazy. We're all crazy, put it that way, but some people are too crazy.
Yeah.
Do you really want to marry a too crazy? They better have a lot of money if you're going to marry a too crazy.
There's someone out there for her that wants to give her that kind of attention. You know? It sounds like she wants some, like, negative attention. She said, he agrees with me too much. And what she wants is someone to fight with her.
She wants trouble.
She wants trouble.
You think she wants to be, kind of controlled?
Yeah, probably.
Play
I feel like everyone kind of wants to be a little bit controlled.
play prison games and stuff?
Prison.
I don't know. Prison.
I'm the warden, and you've been bad. You've been knocking your teacup against the bars again, haven't you?
Oh my god, that's a lot going on.
Oh my god!
You guys heard about that Stanford study where people they like, it was like college students, and it was like they were putting them as prisoners and wardens, and how they actually, the experiment was supposed to be like 2 weeks long. They had to cut it short because it like fucked up like everyone's like psyche. Like people were like had a bunch of PTSD from like being in those roles.
I was brought up on charges. That's how I was brought up.
Yeah, you got that PTSD?
Yeah, that's how it was, man.
It's a lot. I don't know.
New research suggests that people now in their teens and early 20s, Generation Z, find the use of periods in text messages by older people to be hostile. Man, it's getting out of control.
What?
Robert O'Neill, former Navy SEAL who claims to have killed Osama bin Laden, tweeted a photo of himself maskless aboard a Delta flight. Above the caption, "I am not a pussy." O'Neill was banned from further Delta flights, and when his tweet disappeared, he wrote, "I didn't delete my tweet. My wife did." So at least we know who did. All right, these are items of interest. Sex scandal. Liberty University President Jerry Falwell Jr., here we go again, resigned this week after former pool boy claimed to have had 7-year sexual relationship with the preacher's leader and his wife. He's 29 years old. He said he met the Farwells at a Miami Beach hotel. A lot of crazy stuff goes down in Miami. I tell you, if you want to lose your religion, go to Miami.
A hot spot.
Miami's just like anything goes. You can get ankle massages. I mean, you can do anything, and things you wouldn't normally get. So he's in trouble. He's got to resign. But listen to this. I'm just going to cut this short. He's now going to get a $10.5 million in severance from his job, I guess, at the university. $10.5 million. I guess that's this happens all the time. These preachers and look at Bill Cosby telling everybody about the black family and the shortcomings of the black family, and this guy's drugging.
Measured, a real stone cold predator. He knew how to measure that little cocktail he made and went to work. He deserves all the time he gets. I'm so sorry to bring that out.
No. That's your opinion. Your opinion comes out of the items of interest.
Okay.
That's what we look for. We want the guests to interact with the items of interest.
Too much.
We don't want the guests to fight the items of
There
interest.
you go. Yeah, you're right.
Coronavirus cases connected to the massive Surges motorcycle rally mounted this week as health officials in 8 states worked furiously to contain potential outbreaks. Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota and South Dakota, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming all confirmed infections linked to the rally. It's a 10-day rally, so I don't have to read the whole thing. Just trying to edit a little bit myself. Although I like reading the whole thing, I just don't have the time. Portland, Oregon. More than 100 right-wing militia members and Proud Boys squared off this week with demonstrators and Antifa last week as Black Lives Matter protests approached the third month, while Portland police looked on. So this is a big problem now. People are protesting the protesters. Everybody should be able to protest. Let them protest, and then you can have your protest. But the violence is not working. You get more done with nonviolence.
Right.
But if you're a violent person and you like violence, then this is right up your alley. This is up your alley. I mean, you can't tell a violent person to not like violence, I guess. What do you think, Jay?
Can I say something idiotic? Because I don't want to be like I'm telling you, splashing this place with jokes. But can I tell you a serious story about the rioting, what happened with me and my friends playing Monopoly?
Go ahead.
We were playing Monopoly, and because of the looting, I boarded up all my properties. Is that kind of childlike? Is that childlike? Is that childlike?
It's funny.
It's childlike.
It's funny, That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Next time, if you want to speak, I want you to make me a little note.
Yes.
No, that's funny. That's funny, Jay. So there's problems there. And then we have a police shooting and an unarmed black man in the back protest in Wisconsin. And then, I just got to keep moving on because we don't want to bog down dead air with things that everybody I think knows about. This is a really interesting item of interest. And I'm not looking at you for any reason, but this is about a serial killer.
Yeah.
British police are investigating allegations that the deaths of 5 elderly couples in suspected murder-suicides were actually slayings committed by a serial killer who has been at large for nearly 25 years. Go ahead.
Do you know I got at one time picked up for Son of Sam, living in New York. I got picked up for him in Flushing, Queens, and interrogated and this and that and everything.
How long they hold you?
At 109 Precinct in Flushing for about 20 minutes, and then this big hulking detective looked at me and these other detectives around, and he went, "Get the F out." He knew it wasn't me, but I got...
Tell us for the people who don't know about Son of Sam, just briefly what that was.
Well, back in the late 70s, there was a fellow that was shooting couples.
Lovers.
Lovers.
Lovers. You know how lovers
under
are.
bridges, and this and that, and they were desperate to find the culprit, and
they were doing a roundup.
I had met this young lady at this yogurt shop in Flushing, Queens, and I talked to her, and she went and called the police the next time I was there, and then they came, right on the sidewalk.
She was like a tipster. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after about 15, 20 minutes, they said, it wasn't me, but,
That's crazy.
For real, yeah, for real.
They let you get away.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, you're right.
So, a senior coroner's office in northwest England raised concerns that the deaths of Howard and B. Ainsworth in April 1996 and Donald and Uriel Ward in November 1999, all in the wealthy town of Wilmslow, were in fact murders committed by an unknown third party. Davies has identified at least 3 other cases from across the UK that closely match the circumstances of William's deaths, in which a husband with no history of domestic violence was said to have stabbed and bludgeoned his wife to death before committing suicide. So that's an item of interest, huh?
Yeah.
And a lot of those elderly women, they'll just roll over in bed and the pillow will catch the side of their face and they'll smother to death. It's not always a homicide. Old people are always doing nutty things. They don't pick their feet up high enough. That's why they're always tripping. The toes catch. That's how they fall down. Tien.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No backing down. Tens of thousands of marches through Minsk. Minsk. How do you say it? Minsk. Minsk.
Minsk.
Yeah, to demand his resignation following rigged 9 election. Those people are going to be in trouble. That's not going to end well. He's been in power 26 years. This guy, Lukashenko. God. Alexander Lukashenko. He's got their back. There's going to be some trouble over there. So don't make any plans to go to Belarus anytime soon. And it's also a crime in Caracas, Venezuela now. It's a crime to have coronavirus. They're detaining people with suspected coronaviruses.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's a wacky world. It's a wacky world. And then we've got the sister steps up. North Korean dictator Kim Jong's sister is effectively running one of the most important political bodies in North Korea. The South Korean Defense Ministry said this week. And they got problems in Bangkok, too. Facebook this week blocked access in Thailand to a 1 million member group where people openly discuss the country's monarch after the Thai government threatened to legal action against the social media giant. Anyone who insults the royal family can be sentenced to up to 15 years in prison for each comment.
Wow.
And the law has been applied strictly since the Thai military took over in 2014 coup. So there's problems there. And in no more polio in Africa. The entire continent of Africa is now free of wild polio. After it was announced this week that a massive vaccination campaign had eradicated the polio disease from Nigeria. It's a huge win for the healthcare workers in the country. Very good. So that's some good news. You don't want to get that.
No, I don't want to get that.
All right, this is everybody's favorite actor. I don't think there's a person that doesn't love Larry Fishburne. You like him?
Oh yeah, he's great.
Man, he came to fame in
Young, very young.
He came to fame with really made his mark with the
Morpheus,
right? In
and he's not going to be in the new one. I heard.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Laurence Fishburne has very mixed feelings about stardom, said so-and-so and so-and-so. He began acting at 10 and spent 2 years as a teenager filming Apocalypse Now in the Philippines. When he returned to the U.S. after having worked with Marlon Brando and Francis Ford Coppola, Fishburne expected accolades and roles that didn't come. He watched as his friend Sean Penn, Charles Sheen, Emilio Estefan and Rob Lowe landed leading roles in their 20s. Of course, he says, that immature, selfish part of me was going, what about me? He realized it was because he was black in an industry in which starring roles for African Americans were rare. Growing up poor in Brooklyn, Fishburne, now 59, appeared on ABC soap One Life to Live, but it didn't make him popular with peers. The kids in the neighborhood, he says, would be like, hey, movie star, how come you're dressed like a bum? After decades of work on stage and in film, stardom came, particularly after he played Morpheus. What is it? Morpheus in The Matrix, a role that made him a household name. People think I'm Morpheus, he sighs. I'm not comfortable with this word star. He still finds it this uncomfortable when people recognize him. They break out into these huge smiles. For years, I couldn't figure out why. I'm just walking down the street and in the dairy aisle at the grocery store. You never get used to it, just as a human being. Oh, get used to it. These people don't realize when they become movie stars what it entails. You can't tell people not to get excited when they see you, see you in the big screen on the movie theater, and they like the role that you did. They can't. They're just humans.
And it's that little tube is so powerful how it transfers.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And these people want to be actors and they like acting, and then they get well known, and then they cry about the attention they get. That if you didn't want any attention whatsoever, you should have been acting. You stupid ass. You know, you should have done what do they call that upstate stuff? Stock. You know, go to stock.
Do stock.
Idiots.
Summer stock.
They're gonna take your picture. People are just excited to see you. If you see James Bond. Or even Arnold, if I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd like to say, hey, what's up? Pump it up. You know?
Pump it up.
Remember that first movie he did, Pumping Up?
Yeah, the movie.
With the weightlifting?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here's one for everybody that loves Britney Spears.
Oh.
She's trying to get rid of her father's control.
Oh,
A
yeah.
Los Angeles judge has extended Jamie Spears' control through January. The pop star has been under the father's court-ordered control since 2008. Man, that's a long time to be under control.
Free Britney.
After she was involuntarily admitted to a psychiatric ward. A lawyer for Spears, 38, acknowledged that the In Control initially rescued her from a collapse and financial ruin, but argued that she has moved into a different phase of her life. Guess she's not crazy anymore. Well, then stop taking the dog on the airplane if you're not crazy anymore. And no longer wishes to perform. He asked the court to have her care manager act as a controller and have a corporate fiduciary, such as a bank, oversee her estate. Now listen to the numbers on this. The estate is $2.7 million in cash and an estimated $57.4 million in other assets. See, you get a lot of money for shaking your ass on the stage.
Yeah, but what are those other assets? Did they disclose?
Let me see. Her fans was railing around her. Hashtag free Britney. But Jamie Spears, that's her father, rejected accusation that he's profiting off his daughter. I have to report every nickel and dime spent to the court every year, he said. How the hell would I steal something? So he's not happy about these accusations. What do you think about Britney Spears? Think she's overrated?
No, I think she's amazing.
You do?
Yeah, I think she got.
Are you just sticking up for her because you're female?
No, I think her life sucks because like her dad did take over everything and like forced her.
Well,
to
she had
perform.
to. She was out of her gourd. Did she cut her hair off or something?
He did, or she did. But then it's like, why
Did
would
she
she?
get out of-
She did that because she was just like being taken control of. Like he was like, oh, she has all these mental health issues.
Didn't she
like,
get out of it?
I'm gonna be her whatever or whatever.
Didn't
like,
she get
control
out of a
everything.
limousine? Didn't she get out of a limousine with no panties on, and
I mean-
people saw her private parts in broad daylight, getting out of a limousine? True or false?
I feel probably true, but that happens to a lot of girls who don't wear panties out. I don't know. It's just that she's in the public
Is that the new
eye.
thing now? Not to wear panties out?
I think that's been going on for some time.
I don't think
That's
it's
been
a
going on for
new
a
thing.
while.
I think it's
Every
just like she was just
sexual
like, in the
encounter
public
I've
eye.
had to remove the panties.
Different kind of lady.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
I've told people not to wear panties, but they always show up in panties.
There you go.
Are you wearing panties right now?
no.
No, you don't have to. I don't want dead air in the gutter. But let me.
Anyway, no, but it's
You're
like
not
it's
wearing
like,
panties right now.
Howard Holtzman.
How about you, Jay? Are you wearing panties right now?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, who wears
I
panties?
don't. It constricts.
Who
it
wears
holds back.
undergarments?
Aren't you afraid of the zipper?
It constricts. It holds back.
I caught myself in a zipper once. I never. I always wear underwear now.
This is like the first time I've worn pants with a zipper. Like I usually don't wear pants.
You never caught your schwang in a thing?
Close, maybe, but no.
Man, that's painful. You don't want to. You don't want to take it off.
It's like what do you call it? It's like in the movie Mary with Ben Stiller.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
beginning, and when he goes to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, the firemen come and everything. So you think it was a bad idea for the father to take control of her finances?
Absolutely. Well, and then he said it because it was like her mental illness, but forced her to perform in Vegas like forever. Like she's been doing a show, and working. She's like this zombie that just like
Like
works
Elvis,
and performs.
like poor Elvis.
Is that what happened to Elvis?
Yeah, he got sent to Vegas to rot and die.
That
poor
sucks.
guy.
Well, I feel like that's what's happening to her, and then, like she can only do certain things. Like her Instagram's like really weird. Like she's just like a robot, like modeling things like for her posts and stuff, and then like kind of painting these like pictures. I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad. She's like a shell.
Well,
of
I
a
don't know
person.
how sad it
I
is
don't
with
know.
57.4 million
But-
in
but
that. I
she
mean, how
doesn't
sad is
have-
that, Redban? I mean, how
Well,
sad
she
could
doesn't
be?
have it.
She
That's the
doesn't
problem.
have it.
Her dad has it.
Her dad has it. Like she doesn't have any control over it.
All
So
right.
I don't know. That's
A federal judge sentenced actress Lori Logan to 2 months in prison and her husband, fashion designer Mashi, to 5 months and angrily chastised them for bribing their daughter's way into USC. I didn't watch Full House, so I don't know who this woman is except on the television because of the problem she's in now. I never watched Full House. Did you watch Full House?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, how old were you when you were watching Full House? What were
It
you-
was whatever. Back then, it was whatever was on TV. You know, like I didn't really want to watch Different World, you know, or any of those shows. It was just that was the only thing to have. There was no.
I went like this, Brian, because you were saying Full House, and someone told me I was getting like a house. You know when you get like a house? You know what that means when you get like a house?
Yeah.
You mean you're gaining weight.
Right, yeah.
So that's all. I just had to tell you that.
That's why I walk every day for 1 hour.
There you go.
It's about 3 miles. It's the least I can do.
There you go.
A piece of Lego finally fell out of a boy's nose 2 years after he pushed it up there.
Oh my.
New Zealander Shamir Anwar, 7, inserted the tiny piece into his nostril in 2018. But neither his parents nor his doctor could find it. He must have had a big
What?
nose. And the incident was forgotten.
Wait, is this Israel? Where is this?
New Zealand. New Zealand.
Lucky you didn't end up with a brain infection.
And or a Mickey Mouse structure or something up his nose. The doctor couldn't find it, and the incident was forgotten. Since then, he's never complained or anything, his father said. But last week, he felt some pain, blew his nose, and the piece shot out. Wow. I found the Lego, he said. You were telling me it wasn't there, but it was. Wow, you got it, Redban. Oh, isn't that amazing? Up his nose.
What's that green thing on it? Is that
You're right on it.
That's a green dress. That's a green dress. That's what they call the boogers. Green dress.
green dress?
Pick me another green dress, will you, Margaret?
Never heard that before. That's hilarious. Impressed.
Never heard that.
Well, it's better than saying booger, you know?
Oh, look at
Yeah.
Snot rocket.
It's like Heineken. You call a Heineken a green soda. I'll have another green soda, you son of a bitch.
Did they call it a green soda? Really?
I've
Yeah,
never
why
heard
not?
that.
Oh, yeah, green soda.
Wow.
Swiss town got an overnight dusting of chocolate snow after a malfunction at the chocolate factory. Children in the town of Olten, Oatland, awoke to find a Willy Wonka-like chocolate wonderland with everything from roads to roofs to cars covered with fine layer of the dust produced when coca beans are crushed in preparation for making candy. Officials with the Lincoln and Spaghetti Company blamed the issue on a problem with the factory's cooling ventilation. It's always the air conditioning. It's always the air conditioning. So just, I don't want to be rude or anything, but back to the panties with this Britney Spears. Is that the new thing now that people aren't wearing panties?
I don't know if it's new.
They don't want the panty lines? Is that it?
Panty lines, and they're just uncomfortable. But mainly panty lines because I think about all the
Did they have to
fashion.
wash their pants? Or,
All,
well, if they're
all
in a
the
dress.
fashion is that like all these like kind of like spandexy.
Maybe
like,
that's why
whatever.
Victoria's Secret is going out of business. So I've filing for
You think?
bankruptcy. Because the women are not wearing the panties to protect their
Yeah.
panties.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Jay? Do you care?
I care very much.
Get up there in
I
that mic, Jay. Thank
I
you.
called,
Both of you.
Victoria's Secret. I called up Fredericks of Hollywood. You know Fredericks
Oh,
of Hollywood?
yes. I know Frederick very well.
I called up Fredericks of Hollywood, and 223 Fredericks live in Hollywood. See, just add a joke in. I got to add something.
No, you're doing
Why not?
great, man.
Fredericks of Hollywood. They're another one that went post time, meaning finito.
But on social media, residents expressed delight at the flavorful snow. My dream come true, said one.
That would smell great.
Moving right along, these are items of interest if you're just tuning in. This is about TikTok. So this is what I want to read. This is a pretty interesting item of interest about TikTok. And you're young and you're beautiful and you might be involved in this platform. And I want to just make sure you're aware of what may be going on.
All right.
You ready, Jay?
Please, I'm here.
Jay, you ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead. Yeah.
You almost have to kiss that microphone.
Right here. I'm right here.
Okay.
Right here.
U.S. President Donald Trump may be trying to shut down TikTok as a way to punish China, said so-and-so and so-and-so. But in Sweden, we have other reasons to be alarmed at the influence of the viral video sharing app. So-and-so and so-and-so said an activist for those exploited in the sex trade says TikTok is bombarding its young female... That's
I
you.
guess that's me. Yeah.
Young female users. That word female is just sexy just by itself, isn't it? female.
It's through the ages.
Female, you know. Oh, she's female. I mean, it's just it arouses.
It overlaps.
It really, it just flows off the tongue. Female. Oh, she's female. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it says,
All takes, huh?
young female users with what amount to ads for OnlyFans, a pornographic site which users pay for access to videos, photos, and private messages from women who strip or perform sex acts on camera. These are not commercial ads run by OnlyFans. Instead, they are TikTok videos uploaded by teenagers who say they are earning thousands of dollars a day posing for viewers.
Oh.
But it beats bagging groceries at Ralph's. I don't know.
Sure does.
I mean, the comments fields are filled with young girls who ping their friends and write that they just have to join OnlyFans. Of course, Swedes are nearly united in believing that it is perfectly fine for adult women to make money by undressing and chatting with strangers. But young teenagers can quickly get lured in way over their heads. A singless topless selfie or video can be used by a stranger as blackmail. You don't want to see a blackmail. That's a bad word, no matter what you're talking about. That's a terrible word, blackmail. I don't like that word.
Hey.
I know. I know you are. I'll tell your parents. And girls can be pressured to show more, do more, until they are in abusive situation.
It's
Sort of like stage time for sex.
It's well charted out. It's charted out.
For too many children, TikTok is a gateway to a dangerous future. Now, what do you think about
That's
that?
interesting. Okay, so TikTok is like very young. Like I'm young, I'm not that young. And then OnlyFans is something that's like you obviously have to should be 18 plus. I have an OnlyFans, but I don't use it very much. And so it's like you really got to know what you're doing or like what you're getting into.
And like dancing, you got to like dancing. I think a lot of people are dancing on that platform, right?
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, OnlyFans is more just like cute posting nudes and stuff and like videos. And
The problem with
things.
OnlyFans though is that in the contract when you sign up for OnlyFans, you're giving them all your stuff. They own all your stuff. So say like
Right.
you're 18, you have an OnlyFans, you're showing your tits and shit, having fun, and then you like
Later.
decide I'm against this. And they own your shit, so they could sell it as a video later if they want to. They can use it forever.
It's
It's-
theirs.
yeah.
Wow.
It
That's
is.
And
scary.
Facebook
So-
made some changes. I saw on my Facebook feed.
No.
What are they doing?
I'm not sure.
I
don't
couldn't
use
read
that
it. It's too
much.
long to read.
I'm sure it's something
Wait, what
similar.
about
Facebook
Or are they
said
owning
they're
all the
making some
things, too?
changes, you know?
I don't know anything about the
I don't know. I barely use Facebook.
If you know
But-
any changes Facebook is making, Jay, you have a mailing address, a home address somebody could write you?
Yes, they could write me. It's better off that they write me. I'm not up with today's, whatever.
This is one about voting. It says more than 550,000 absentee ballots cast in this year's presidential primaries have been rejected by state election boards. Far more than roughly 318,000 ballots rejected in 2016. I think the wisdom here is just, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to make sure your ballot is filled out correctly. You got to make sure your signatures match. You got to vote. You got to vote early. I do mine by mail. And I'm in the state of California, which always goes blue, so it's not as critical, put it that way. It is still important to vote, but the states that it's critical, you really have to take the time to make it count. There's no sense of doing it and then it gets rejected. So that's another big quagmire. I'm not going to go into the quagmire of voting. It should be a week. You should have a whole week to vote. Let's have voting from 7:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. One day, every 4 years. It's just a scam. Let it be it should be a holiday.
It should be a month.
should
Why
be,
even have it a week? It should be like doing your taxes. You should be, it should be connected
some
to your
time.
social security number. You send it in just like your taxes. It doesn't, you could vote right now. You should be able to vote right now.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit ever. It makes no sense. It's made to fail.
It's made to fail, and it's made to stop the majority of people. Some people can't get off work. Some
Right.
people, the guy will fire you.
Most
or want to
people
go
can't
vote.
get
They'll
off
go,
work.
you're fired if you go vote. Every job is, they were talking about hostile workplaces on Ellen. There's a lot of hostile work environments in every occupation across the board. Whoever owns the company, who's running the show, can act any way he wants to act. And if you don't like it, you're out of a job.
Yeah, well, that's because of all the monetary pressures of today.
Well, I think there's always been hostile work environments. I mean, look at the slave labor back in the day in the 1900s. They had to organize unions because they were strapping children
I broke into
to workbenches.
added in. I broke into a cold sweatshop. Did you get that?
Yes, I'm laughing. You see me laughing? I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not going to laugh if I
Good
don't
to
find
see
it
you,
funny.
Brian. I'm glad to be here. The time is going so fast. Go ahead, continue.
Not that fast,
Okay.
but so yeah, vote. I don't know. Make your signatures count. See if you can't drop. I think it's great that the sports teams are going to let the arenas be drop-off places or voting centers. I mean, I wouldn't want to wait online. I would want to. Well, I think they want to wait online to make sure that their vote is accepted and counted, as opposed to mail in. But this is one for you, Redban. After 25 years, Microsoft is finally killing Internet Explorer.
Thank God.
Said so and so and so and so. The company announced last week that it will stop supporting Internet Explorer 11, the most recent case of the browser, in August 2021. Most of the most used web browser, Internet Explorer, has been on a steady downward fall for years after debuting as part of a Windows 95. Internet Explorer enjoyed a virtual monopoly commanding 90% of the browser. Anyway, a lot of people want to know why Microsoft, Bill Gates, is so wealthy. It's because I think IBM wanted to buy the whole thing, and he said no. The money's in licensing. Is that right?
Licensing.
Licensing. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know that story.
Yeah. So, this is another problem that we talked about earlier about the weather. We're almost done with the items of interest, and we're going to get to your story because it's interesting, and then we're going to get back to Britney Spears and those missing panties, because that seems so much has been. Greenland is at a point of no return. Greenland, so much ice has melted from Greenland's glaciers that even if global warming were to stop today, the island's ice sheet would keep on disintegrating. There's the conclusion of a new study that examined 34 years of satellite data on 234 glaciers across Greenland. Reports so and so and so and so. The island's ice sheet dumps more than 300 billion tons of melting ice into the ocean every year, making it the single biggest contributor to global sea level rise. Researchers say the rate of collapse, which has increased at least sevenfold over the past 2 decades, is now so drastic that the snowfall that typically replenishes the glaciers can no longer keep up with the rate of melting from parts of the ice sheet newly exposed to warmer ocean water. Even if humidity somehow managed to reverse climate change, glacier retreat has knocked the dynamics of the whole ice sheet into a constant state of loss, says study co-author so-and-so and so-and-so from so-and-so and so-and-so. Greenland's disappointing ice sheet is a problem for all of humanity. Sea levels are expected to rise by more than 3 feet. This is what you were talking about, Miami, Jay.
I guess yeah.
3 feet by 2100. See, this is good news for one reason, because they keep saying if we don't do this in 3, it's. I think unfortunately I don't like to be so negative, but I think it's too late.
Yeah. It's already happening.
They keep telling us, well, if you don't do this, besides,
We've already crossed the threshold.
they keep saying that's so everybody won't start throwing all their tin cans in the street and stop recycling and cutting.
So you're saying it's post time?
I think they've done they've done their damage. See, if you and I or Redban or Jay, we throw a piece of paper into the street, we'll get a citation. We'll get fined.
Whereas,
But if you're a factory or a corporation and you throw harmful chemicals into the river or you pollute the air, somehow that's okay and that's free.
yeah,
It's called a carbon tax. They want to make these people pay for polluting the world. And of course, they don't want to do that, so they have to say that climate change is a hoax.
did you ever see what the Indian Ocean looks like? Unless they cleaned it up with all the, all the garbage, and it looks like 20 football fields of garbage right in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Oh, the Indian Ocean has a trash trap too?
Big problem. Yeah.
Yikes.
Maybe does it show that? I don't know.
I had a food trap. Do you know what a food trap is?
No, I mean, no.
I had a food trap, but then I had one of my molars removed, and the food trap was over. I didn't know what it was. My niece told me about it. A food trap is every time you eat, the same piece of food gets stuck in the same trap
Spot.
in your mouth, and they call that a food trap. But when I got that tooth removed,
Never again.
the food trap is gone
Amazing.
Yeah.
because it was
Yikes.
it's kind of a
Ugh,
it's kind of a pain in the neck to have a food trap.
nightmares.
Oh, this is bad news for employees at American Airlines. American Airlines announced it will lay off 19,000 workers when federal aid ends October 1st. The airline, with 133,700 employees, says it will need to reduce headcount by 40,000, including voluntary retirements. Delta Airlines said it plans to furlough 1,941 of its pilots. What do you say, Jay?
Ashanda. In German, that means a shame. Ashanda. German Yiddish.
33 states and the District of Columbia now allow cocktails to go during the pandemic. Before COVID-19 struck, only 2 states, Florida and Mississippi, should be Nevada too, because in Nevada you can get to go drinks in Vegas. Allowed them on a limited basis. So that's pretty good. You should be able to get it to go.
Yeah.
Stupid rules, You can only drink alcohol inside your house. I don't live in a house. I live in a car. What do I do now, As long as it's not like being, if it's in a paper bag, maybe. I think that's the rule. It has to be in a paper bag.
You have to hide it.
In New York City, it had to be in a paper bag, right?
Yes.
Then it was okay.
But everyone knows what you're doing. I don't understand.
It's the Puritans.
That's why I put it in a diaper.
There you go. Nobody knows.
Wrap it in a diaper. No one will bother you.
No one will bother you at all.
This is interesting. I don't know if I believe it. In 2009, rookie card of Los Angeles Angels star Mike Trout sold at auction for $3.936 million. Why don't they just round these numbers off? $3.936 million.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you change for that. I wouldn't know how to calculate the change for, point. Just can you round it off? Just make the price round it off. It's like when they want the penny at CVS. When they say you owe me a penny,
Yeah.
just
keep
round
it.
it off.
He broke Honus Wagner's record. He was a ball player from yesteryear in the 20s. Honus Wagner.
Yes.
He broke his record for a record sale on a baseball card.
Yeah. I'm not
the
done.
gum.
It's
And the
it's
gum.
on here. I'm not done reading it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So it's, $3.3936 million, making it the most valuable. You think somebody would just be with that much money? You think they'd just be happy to just round it off? Just give me three. What is it?
0.6.
It's just people are just crazy. So what is 936? Is that so? How would you round that off? 3.936 would be rounded off to what?
Well, it'd be 3.9, but then you'd be losing money.
So you could do 9. It doesn't matter, but it just bothers me when things have to be complicated. Making it the most valuable sports car of all time. The price surpassed what Jay just discussed. A 2016 sale of a 1909. Say it.
Honus Wagner.
Get up in there.
Honus Wagner.
T206 card that sold for $3.12 million.
You know, if I really wanted a baseball card nowadays, why wouldn't I just take a photo of it and look at it? You know, like, I don't get, like, you're going to spend 3.6. Why don't you just take a photo of it, print it out, you know, and that's good enough. What else are you going to do with this baseball card for 3.6? Buy a house.
This all goes back to, I think everybody in this room, the tax code for us is about I guess as skinny as this dark tax code. And the tax code for wealthy people in America. I mean, we're talking about a country that has special prisons just for wealthy people. Yeah. This whole country is about wealth.
Right.
And if you don't have it, the tax code for rich people could be this high. Mm-hmm. It's loophole after loophole after loophole. So somebody who's buying a baseball card for almost $4 million is going to get some kind of tax break. See, that's why these idiot actors buy art. They don't know anything about art, but there's some little Jewish accountant who says, you don't want to pay taxes? You go to the Sotheby's and you buy that painting over there by Banksy for $70 million, and then you won't have to pay any taxes because that's what the whole game is.
Good point.
The whole game is money. They don't care about art. They care about the tax break that the art enables them to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about the dollar. It's always about the dollar.
I mean, if they just took all the loopholes and everybody paid the same amount of taxes as us three, maybe Redban, the country would be extremely wealthy. There'd be new bridges. There'd be new roads. There'd be new everything. They'd fund the schools. Every fucking kid in the whole country would have their own laptop. Right, Redban? Mm-hmm. There'd be internet access and internet band coast to coast. Yeah. I mean, there's so much money in this country. It's unbelievable. But the people in charge, they're only interested in money that makes money.
Right. Building
a bridge and giving a kid a computer, that's a drain. We can't make money on that. Mm-hmm. Unless they can figure out a way to do it, they're reluctant to do it. So that's it. The last one for the items of interest, and then we're going to get into some very interesting stories with my friend Jay London. When did I meet you, Jay?
About 2005, 4, 5, 3, 2.
I've known you. I think longer than that.
About 20 years. 18 years. That's it.
That's it. 18 years. I don't think I've known anyone for that long besides my family members.
Well, all right. Here's the last part of the items of interest. This is a very popular part here. Always predict the worst, and you'll be hailed as a prophet. Let my name stand among those who are willing to bear ridicule and reproach for the truth's sake, and so earn some right to rejoice when the victory is won. All right, fine. Explain it to me later. Right now I'm busy talking to my friend at the party. Love is a lot like a backache. It doesn't show on x-rays, but you know it's there. Are you in love? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
That's such a sad way to put it. Love is like a backache?
Love is like a backache.
What?
It doesn't show on x-rays, but you know it's there.
No, there was that gun. That was cool. The little massage gun.
Are you in love right now?
Yes, I am.
How about you, Jay? Are you in love right now?
Not at this moment. You
got to watch Love. It's a double-edged sword, I'm telling you. It'll come back to bite you.
You know, people who live alone.
I told you I loved you.
You know, statistically, people who live alone live 6 to 7 years
less
than somebody with kids in trouble and marriage.
I know. I heard that, and I didn't like that, but I heard that more than once.
Yeah.
Single people don't live as long as.
Maybe it's the detached factor. Detached.
Well, we want to get a better seat. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it. Helen Keller. That was something she would say.
Yeah.
She was blind as a bat, that Helen Keller. God, but she did a lot for being blind. Wasn't she deaf,
She
too?
was blind and deaf. Yeah, she did the most.
But I heard she had good feet.
Yeah, she had dynamite feet. Dynamite feet. Here it is. Here's a good one. It is not right for a ruler who has the nation in his charge, a man with so much on his mind, to sleep all night. And second to last one, the safest road to hell isn't the gradual one. The gentle slope, soft, underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts.
That's it?
Why don't we have a moment of silence?
No, that's the dead air. Sometimes you get the dead air when you can't always be talking. And the last one is I generally avoid temptation unless I can't resist it. And that would be, of course, Mae West. She made a lot of money being risque. I bet she didn't wear any panties. Mae West?
She was a little bombshell at the right time.
Oh, she was. Well, that's it. That's item of interest.
There she is.
Come up and sing her famous quote.
I always get rushed at the
Okay,
end,
this
so I'm
quotes.
just going to push these. If anybody
Bushwick, New York.
If anybody wants a Dead Air T-shirt,
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people wearing them lately.
they're nice shirts.
It's because-
Sam
my-
Tripoli wants one.
Does he?
Yeah,
How is his twins doing? How's his twins doing?
looks good.
This is the Dead Air T-shirt,
Oh, how nice.
Nice.
and it's high quality Egyptian cotton, and they're imported from Cairo, and they're $35 out the door. You can Venmo me, and you'll really, really enjoy the T-shirt. Be the first one on your block to have a Dead Air T-shirt. So Jay,
Yeah.
pick
yes.
us up from high school. What was the name of the high school you went to? The last one.
Charles Evan Hughes, which was in Chelsea, 17th Street and 8th and 9th Avenue. Yes. Graduated from there. Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you were doing the training or the boxing before or after the cab drive?
I would do it in between. I would park my cab in rush hour and go to 146 West 28th Street, which is the heart of the Flower District, and upstairs on the 5th floor they converted a loft or whatever into a full-fledged boxing gym with the great Gil Clancy, who had I don't know how many world champions, and I would train there, and it was an all Puerto Rican gym, that had world-class fighters.
And how did you find yourself in the ring? How did you get involved with that? Were you a street fighter?
No, I guess through my father, and just I just had an implanted chip put in before anybody had chips put in. I had a little chip on my shoulder or whatever, and I took it out on. A heavy bag doesn't hit your back, so you could tell anybody, I hurt the heavy bag, but. I enjoyed the thrill of sparring, even though at times when I first began I didn't have coaching, but then I did, and it was very therapeutic.
Did they pay you to be a sparring partner?
Mr. Gil Clancy paid me $25.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Oh, there you go.
That's a nice shot. Look at that.
Wow, I look like I don't know what the hell I look like.
Your hair's so dark.
Yeah, well, it dyes and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Your hair's dark too.
My hair
yes.
is dark.
So I basically started that way, and I started out there and went to different gyms and whatever, and so forth and so
So how
on.
many years did you do that?
For about 6-7 years, off and on.
So a good chunk of time. And you were, I guess, in your 20s?
Yes, and I trained with the great Emil Griffith, who was 6-time world champion. Emil Griffith, in his last fight when he fought a fellow named Alan Minter, who, I'm showing age, fought Marvin Hagler at that time for the middleweight title. Those years and a little later. So yeah, I liked it. Comedy is very close to that too.
What's the most dangerous? I think the most dangerous punch that it really sets it off is that quick left followed by the right. Quick, didn't Muhammad Ali have that quick?
Well, it's called the jab.
The jab, right. That's the quick jab.
Yeah, it's like a piston.
Yeah,
throw it
it's
out there,
extremely.
and then you look to throw your power hand, which would be your right. I'm a lefty, so my left hand would be my power hand, just in reverse.
And you told me they lefties were rare, so they needed you
at that
more
time,
than.
very obsolete. You wouldn't see many lefty fighters. So at the time he fought Alan Minter, and Alan Minter was a southpaw from England. So I had the privilege of training for him for that fight, and a guy named Jorge Humada, who fought Bob Foster for the light heavyweight title, and blah blah blah.
I was so if a fighter was coming up on a big fight and his opponent was a left-hander, they'd call you. They'd want you in there.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna call me because I was there like 4 or 5 times a week. I was there because I wanted to,
And they
get
needed
into
a
the
left-hander.
No, I wanted to go into the amateurs, the gloves, the silver gloves, the Latino gloves.
You go into the Golden Gloves.
Yeah, I didn't do well, but I went in, and then I had my last bout was with depression. I lost that too. I lost the depression, but
Professional sports are unbelievable. Everybody went to high school and they all had those athletes that played football, and they were like the jocks and they were the greatest. I mean, they could catch the ball with one hand, but they were nothing compared to the competition that's out there. The people that make it to the pros are just it's like night and day. It's unbelievable.
I also see that today all you need is 10 fights to fight for a title, whereas back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you needed at least 25, 30 fights to dignify yourself as a contender. Today, you just have 10 fights and you're ready to fight. It's just kind of...
I've told you I'm reading the book about the Jewish fighters, and the Ring magazine was around.
Not Fleischer.
And he said after he passed away and the magazine fell on... Right, that's when boxing started to, up to that point, they really kept it in check. It was very organized. It was very professional. There was no fooling around.
It was in business for 100 years.
And then
it went downhill.
People that got involved and wanted to water it down, make money.
Well, also the UFC, Ultimate Fighting has taken away a chunk of that viewership.
Yeah, because they were fixing too many fights. They were fixing too many fights too, and they weren't fair. They were biting people. At least what I like about the Ultimate Fighting is you know who's gonna. Nobody's throwing the fight. You're gonna win,
I'm not even going in that area. I'm just saying, as far as mob control, let's say like the great Sonny Liston, was he mob control before that fight with Ali, or when he was known as Cassius Clay?
Right.
The undercurrent of mob activity there was very powerful. But today, I think it exists in a very small manner. I don't know. I can't say. But then it was prevalent back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. If you watch Raging Bull,
after the golden years,
If you watch Raging Bull and in the movie, and he says, what do I got to do to get a chance at the title? Because it was so competitive. You had to have 60, 70 fights, and if you didn't have the right connections, you're a contender, but never a victor.
Now tell us about the cab. Now, did you have to? What would it cost to rent a cab for a shift, and then anything after that, then you would keep? Is that how the cab works?
It was called
right?
horse hiring. In other words, you would have your shift for 12 hours, and you'd have to also pay for gas. So if I had to pay $80 plus gas, that's like $100. So for the first 5 hours, I'm working for the cab. Then after that, by that time, you're already tired. It just became a very tiring industry. And traffic and whatever else.
That's why Uber is so much better.
Well, Uber kind of ruined the taxi industry.
Yeah.
You know how many... There was...
I think it's a good thing, though. I think it's, the taxes were overpriced, and most taxi drivers, it was like you're in a gross car and stuff. Now you're in like nice cars. And
yeah. Well, the shame is that when the taxi industry went bust, you were paying like $250,000 for a medallion, and then it went bust. The whole industry went down, and all these poor guys that invested their life savings, and they had about 5 suicides from cab drivers in the last.
Well, I tell you, when I'm at the airport, like when I went back to Philadelphia, the Uber stand or the Lyft stand is just it's a mess. Mm-hmm. So I like the cab driver because I always like to help out the cab, and then when I found out that the Uber driver was grading my behavior, that bothered me. Because I like to act up in the back of a cab.
You should be grading his behavior.
We can.
Oh, you can.
You can grade each other, but when I found out my behavior was being graded, left a bad taste in my mouth. Because you're in the back of the cab, you party, and maybe you're with a dame or a young woman or a nice girl. All right, I'm sorry. Dame is a bad word. Is that right?
No,
Did I say a bad word by
it's
saying
fine.
dame?
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
it's fine.
A young woman. You're in the back of the cab. Cab drivers, they don't care what happened. You could commit a murder in the back of a yellow cab. They're going to pretend nothing's happening. They're going to just drive you to where you're going.
I had people want to rent out the back seat with me leaving the cab.
Oh, I bet you had.
I could tell you stories, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Tell us a few. Tell us
a
a couple of good stories. Well, the one that sticks out the most is probably the best one. Tell us the one that sticks out the most from your cab driving days.
You mean the highlight in a negative or a positive?
It doesn't matter. The best story.
The best story I ever told it had to do with a holdup, a stick up at a cab company, and we were all turning in our receipts at 12 o'clock. You had shifts from 12 to 12 or whatever, so we were all handling. And it was the time when they used to put your money in a cigar box. Mm-hmm. The cab drivers wouldn't, they wouldn't have, they'd have a cigar box with their money in it, so everybody turned in the receipts, and these dudes came in, sticking up the place. And the dispatcher, who was not retired but moonlighting as a dispatcher, but he's a cop, he's fragilely crying around the vault because they want the numbers to the vault to get the vault, and he's cowering and crying. And for some heroic and I don't know reason, man, I don't say heroic, but I went to the forefront and I said, "Hey, Sal." His name is Sal. Well, Sal or is Sal. I said, "Hey, you got to get those numbers open. This guy means to shoot. He means to shoot." That's Sal right there, because I was looking to turn that off. Don't listen to anything. So my point is that's one of my heroic stories for me, trying to save people from a stick-up, a real amateur type stick-up.
So
from all my stories, I had Woody Allen in the cab, I had Steve Miller.
Did you? So you got him to open up the safe?
No, they got scared. Then he shot one round into the ceiling and took all. And they were so amateurish. They were taking the money from the cigar boxes from the cab drivers, but they really wanted the money from the safe. And there was a lot of frustration. And I kind of went to the forefront.
So what year did you leave New York and come back to
2000,
to come to
2000.
Los Angeles? And when did you decide, or when did you the first time you did the stand up?
Whenever I did stand up, I hold the record at Showtime at the Apollo. One of my first times I ever did comedy, and they booed me off in like the Sandman, who was alive at that time. He booed me off in like 1.8 seconds. I said I live in a black neighborhood. The guys call me homeboy. That's because I'm afraid to leave my house. and I know it sounds kind of childlike, and they booed me right off the.
No, all your jokes make sense. You know,
but they're childlike too.
And
but anyway,
so what year? What year did you start? What year? Can you remember when you first started doing comedy?
Yeah, back in the '80s. I'm doing comedy 30 years now. I hate to bring that.
Maybe
out.
it's the same year I started. What year?
86.
Okay. And then
no sabbaticals. No, I took a rest. I had gotten ill.
And you started in New York City.
Started in New York City. Worked any club, anywhere, everywhere, from Sloan Kettering Cancer Ward to a lot of different benefits, whatever. I never made a lot of money with comedy. I did a lot of benefits, but never really made money.
You can go like this, Jay, and make it.
Is that what I could do?
Make it tighter.
Yeah, I don't know these up-to-date things. No, it's okay. It's all right. Go ahead.
So, 19...
it doesn't matter.
When
19, whatever. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, please.
Well, it gives us... I only asked that. It gives us a perspective of where I was and where anybody else was.
I would drive... I was legendary for stopping at a club and ask somebody if they could just watch my car for 5 minutes, a cab, and go out and do a set because I had it all programmed, and go right back down 2nd Avenue driving a cab.
So, what was the deciding reason to move to Los Angeles?
A shaman, a Cherokee native shaman, medicine man. I was with a young lady, and then for some reason I always went to the Native American way as far as different...
No, what I mean is, what was the reason you came to L.A.?
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you the reason.
What was the reason?
The shaman said my dreams were in the West.
Oh, I see.
And then I came out here and I sacrificed it. That's all I'm going to say.
And what year did you come to L.A.?
2000, end of 99, 2000.
Yeah, and then tell us about Last Comic Standing.
life altering, life changing. I wish I was smart enough to profiteer and really tailor myself at that time, and not through recklessness, just through stepping back in different negative areas. I didn't lose time. I just fell off the map.
Don't clap, please.
I fell. If I had, I did the Warriors way. I mean, nobody's allocated me anything. I don't know if I'm straying off here.
No.
I should have done very well, and not to sound like an accountant, a lot in the red at the end.
Right.
I should have gotten Visine.
Well, people, everybody treats money differently. Money is some people. It's just So
when I changed my name to Jaded, it was Jay originally. It went to Jaded.
My brother Jay. I have a brother Jay. I like that word Jay.
Yeah.
That name Jay.
Yes. Go ahead.
So Star Search was quite an opportunity. That was pretty good.
I was never on Star Search.
Last comic
Standing.
Last comic standing. I'm sorry.
That's great.
Did I say Star Search? Star Search.
That was great. I remember.
That was NBC product, right?
Yeah, I was working on petitions, and I was right in front of the Improv.
Barry Cast or Barry
Katz.
Barry Katz.
He was instrumental. A good guy.
He's the producer, right?
Yeah. He was very instrumental in areas of.
Now, is it true
advancement.
they know who's going to win before the season starts?
No, I never saw anything programmed. I never. When I was in that house, I kind of stood to myself. I was not really, by myself.
Because didn't the guy from Drew Carey have a problem thinking that maybe it was when Fat Tam won?
Well, there was a problem
because he was clearly not the best comic.
Yeah,
he was clearly not the best comic for that group. But he won, and I think that pissed Drew Carey off. He was one of the judges.
He drove me that day. That fan drove me to NBC to do it. He said, "Jay, you're going to do great. You're going to do that." I never made
Was he surprised when he won?
He never. He had no idea. He just went there on a lark, and he said to me, "Jay, you're going to go ahead." And this.
Well, he must have made some. I'm not saying he wasn't a good comic.
Bob Reed,
I didn't watch the show, but there was a lot of backlash for them picking him.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And he's from Vietnam, isn't he?
He's Vietnamese, but that had nothing to do with it.
What do you think about that?
It had nothing to do with that.
No, I was asking her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know who I really liked on season 1 also was Dave Mordow. I thought he was really funny.
Yeah, sharp.
I haven't heard about him since then.
A lot of them just go post city. I don't know. They just the dream starts to fade or whatever.
Well, it's a horrible business in a certain way. You got to keep on it. You got to keep on it.
And your creative process peaks too. If you get writer's block, it can be very disheartening. Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, he's a funny-looking guy. So, how are you doing with your artwork? You're also an artist.
I am an artist.
How's that going?
It's going pretty good, I guess. I've just been trying to create. I think it really peaked whenever Core first started, and I started snail mailing people, just kind of soliciting, hey, who wants some art sent to them? And I think that was a big inspo. Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you. But I started this new thing also, I guess since I last saw you.
Was that abstract art? What kind of art would you call that?
I guess.
Would that be abstract?
Yeah, it would be abstract. I guess when people ask abstract expressionists, I used to do more painting, but I pivoted to drawing because it's a little bit quicker.
A lot of times you don't want to see a picture of something. You just want to see abstract.
Just something
maybe
random.
Certain parts of your home. You're not interested in somebody's face or somebody's landscape or somebody's tree. You want to see something that will make you think a little bit about maybe. What do you think about abstract art, Jay? Can you get in the mic, Jay?
Yes, I can.
Why don't you just keep sitting up, Jay?
No, I am. It's back.
Do we have something we can put behind his back between the chair to keep him
It's all good.
relaxing?
It's unusual. I was looking at one of the photos there, and
Oh yeah. Oh, which one?
pulling back.
I noticed you incorporate straight lines and end curves in the same abstract painting, which is not that easy to do.
Yeah, I use a protractor.
It has that Japanese cartoon feel to it. See,
Really?
Did you ever see the famous Japanese cartoons that they have?
With the big eyes
Like
and
anime.
the little school dresses. The little school dresses.
Yeah.
They love those school dresses. They never get out of them.
There's one behind you.
It's a. Oh yeah, that's a fit.
Yeah, they never get out
I'm
of
trying
them.
to get a fit like that. Yeah, I don't know.
So it's very interesting the way you combine straight and curved views in the same composition, and just showing off the different shades. Of course, you've got dark, you've got light shades.
Right.
I mean, you're covering all the bases. You really are. It's fascinating. How long did one of these pieces take?
I'll work on them concurrently. So I'll work on maybe like 3 to 5 at a time. Sometimes.
Look at that one. That was very something.
But sometimes, I mean, it's like 15 minutes to like a couple hours, depending on whenever I go back to it. But
Did you take art class?
I play pretty fast or pretty quick.
Did you take art class in high school?
That's what I got my degree in, actually. It was like painting, studio art and art history. So I went to university and chose to be an artist. My parents were super upset about it.
What did they want you to pursue?
They wanted me to be a doctor, an accountant, or a lawyer. Like, it's very like typical Asian parent.
Oh, they were driven too?
Oh yeah, they're just like, we want you to do more than what we could.
You have brothers and sisters? I don't remember from last
3
time.
sisters, and
What number are you?
3.
You're the youngest?
They're 3 out of 4. So there's one more that's younger than
No
me.
brothers? Old girls?
No brothers.
They got that special the DNA. No. Some families are like that.
I guess, yeah. So all girls, and I was like the first one to go to college and complete it.
And where did you go to college?
I went to Indiana University because I'm from Indiana. It was okay. It was like a little bubble.
These are very provocative.
In the mic, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Jay, you got to sit up straight. You got to get in that mic, Jay.
Very provocative at times.
yeah.
And what makes them both coincide?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, I mean I like trying to pivot my art with my thirst trap. So it's like a way to advertise it, because I think that people get lost and like art's like everywhere, but it's like what's gonna like bring people in. I'm like, oh yeah, me like looking a certain way or like posing with my art as well. But,
well, your body is art as well.
yes,
and I think that's what you're
I have.
portraying.
Like, I make art. I am art.
Yeah, you're not just a piece of slab,
No,
a piece of meat that to be abused by some longshoreman. It's a beautiful. Everybody knows the female body is.
No, I like the way they both gel. There's a certain gel in there, like a certain.
Well, that's where the
feel.
artist comes in.
Yes.
They can combine
how,
these different aspects.
Social media works these days, and how like brings people in.
Have you ever thought about doing a logo work?
Logo work?
You could certainly do that because of your.
More like
abstract and
oh yeah, I do hair too, I guess. Yeah, logo work. I mean, graphic design's like pretty boring to me. I like tried a little bit of that in college, and it's like fine. But I mean, if someone was looking for something, maybe.
So you're an artist, a beautician. Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you find time to do all this? And then you got some clown boyfriend. That must be taking up a lot of your time.
I mean, we're both creative people, I guess.
What does he do? What's he do?
He's like a videographer, film editor person. I don't know. He's always on his computer.
Yeah. Does he have
doing stuff.
do you ever pump gas while he's sitting in the car?
That
That makes me sick. That makes me sick.
No.
When I drive around and I see a
That's
woman
funny.
pumping gas
Well, they're sitting in the car.
and a
No.
guy is sitting in the car,
will
it just
pump-
makes me want to
he'll
just say, "What are
pump
you,
the
some kind of
gas.
knuckle dragging?"
He'll pump the gas and he'll clean my windshields for me, which
So
is like
he's-
very, very sweet.
He doesn't want to lose you, huh?
Yeah. Apparently not. So that's pretty good.
And you have found yourself. Have you found yourself?
Have I found myself? I think I'm in the midst of finding myself
What kind of
being
question
in
is that,
LA.
Jay?
It's a good question.
Well, I want to know what he means by that. What do you mean found herself? What are you trying to say,
I
Jay?
sense experiment there. I sense
Oh,
experiment.
really?
So,
Yeah, there's that. I mean,
Just checking.
yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing. The other thing that I guess I've been doing that's new since I last saw you, I've started pen paling a couple inmates in Florida.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I mean,
What does the boyfriend think about this pen pal
he
nonsense?
thinks I have 2 prison boyfriends now,
He
but
does.
Yeah, wait
Just
till they
kidding.
get out and find you.
No, I know. I meant to get a PO box. But
There
then
it
I
is.
forgot.
That's the
But,
address.
yeah.
That's the address.
They seem pretty nice, and actually, it's
It looks like the house she was talking about in the letter.
yikes.
I found some hair in the garbage.
Oh my god.
It smells just like I imagined.
That's what I'm trying
Now, what,
to like
what,
fight against.
this
right
happens
now.
a lot with women in America. So
What's that?
you know, what prompted you to pen pal with a prisoner? You know, where does that originate?
Well, this is more of like, I guess I'm trying to pivot more to like activist organization work anyway. And then I started learning a lot more about the prison industrial complex. And I'm like, whoa, this is super fucked up. Like, the war on drugs is fake. Not fake, but it's like, it's something that's like been articulated and propagated so that it's like you're throwing people in prison for these charges that are not that big of a deal. Like, you know what I mean? You've created this because it's prisons for profit. And so my thing was that I'm like, okay, I want to figure out and hear from the source, like what your experience is. And I started reading. I was just like reading, absorbing all this information. I just read this book called like American Prison, and it's about this journalist who went undercover, got a job as like a prison guard in Louisiana, and just was like wrote about his whole experience being in there and kind of like what was happening there.
It's horrifying, isn't it?
It's horrifying, and then it's just like.
You been to prison, Jay?
No, but I'm pretty well known within the prison community, and I do a comedy show like every 2 months over here on 6th Street. It's called Transitional Living.
Oh.
Inmates 500 inmates spend their last 18 months from Chino or wherever they met, you know, other state facilities.
Folsom.
Yeah, and they come down here, and you know, I became their fan favorite. So what do I feel about prison? I'm just hyping. What's the question? I forgot the question.
We'll get back to you. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
I got this opportunity because as I was trying to get involved, and then I got connected with this girl who was formerly incarcerated. So she's like, "Hey, we're looking for volunteers for pen pals for inmates, because they just like would like some contact from the outside." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that," because I just want to learn about their experience. And the two people I'm talking to have been in for 20 plus years for like pretty. From what they told me, it's like one's like armed robbery, maybe like aggravated assault, but like a natural life sentence for that is excessive, I would say. But I guess I don't know. I just wanted to learn more, and I feel like you can read as much as you want about it, but if you're not talking to someone who's experiencing it, how will you really know?
It's nice to make that, as long as they don't become your pen knife pal.
Yeah, I mean, I have this one. Like, he's very nice. He said he wanted to kidnap me a couple times.
Oh,
so
see, there you go.
far.
That's great.
But
Did he send you a picture of him?
Yes, and his like family and stuff. And they've asked for pictures, but I figured it's better to not.
Did he
send
have a neck tattoo?
pictures. No.
Did he want any money for commissary?
Any teardrop tattoos?
Nope. Not that I know of. They've been in since one was
Any
in since he was
tattoos of his
17.
mom?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see any tattoos. And it was a very bad quality photo, but
I'm gonna read a letter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read a letter today. This is a short letter. This isn't out of the book of letters.
a letter.
But this is, I think you'll find, this is December 17th, 1984. Where were you in 84? Can you remember?
I was in New York.
Okay. Redban?
Breakdancing on a cardboard box in Columbus, Ohio.
There you go.
Okay, here it is. This is a letter of reprimand to Sergeant Holtzman. It has been brought to my attention that on or about 10 December of 1984 at approximately 2300 hours, that's like 11:10 p.m., you were detained by the security police for knocking over the traffic cones at the entrance of Cadena Gate number 2. On being questioned by the security police, you became disorderly and boisterous. Conduct of this nature is unbecoming of an NCO, and it is in violation of Article 91 of the UCMJ. That's the Unified Code of Military Justice. You are hereby reprimanded. As an NCO, you are to display the highest standards at all times, setting the example for the airmen. In this incident, you displayed a direct lack of maturity and judgment. Your attitude toward the NCO performing his duties was inexcusable and will not be tolerated. Any further incident of this nature will result in a more severe administrative action. Now, has anybody ever tripped over a cone, a traffic cone, or a construction device?
Surely.
How easy it is.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm treated.
Was it multiple cones or just one?
It says CONES, so that would be more than one. But once you hit one, or you lose your footing and your balance, and then you're going to hit the next cone or the next construction device, or here I am all the way overseas, Okinawa. I don't know how many thousands of miles from my home, from my family, from what I know, what I feel comfortable with, trying to serve my country, and I'm getting reprimanded for, accidentally bumping over some traffic cones.
So this happened in Japan?
Yes.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd read that.
Man, you get in trouble a lot.
What became of that? What became of that?
You're a bad boy, Mr. Holtzman.
You don't know me. Mr. Redban. Okay. We're going to do questions now. Jay, we're going to start with you.
Sure.
10 questions.
Sure. Please.
If you were a famous rock star, who would you want to be? Mick Jagger, Elvis Presley, Elton John, or Liberace?
Mick Jagger.
Number 2, have you ever been attracted to your mother? And tell the truth.
I could say there were times, but it never evolved into anything.
Okay. Fair enough.
It never developed.
I'm going to get my pen out and just make a note on that one if you don't mind. Yeah. Number 3, have you ever been attracted to your sister?
I got 3 years for that. No.
Number 4, I guess I don't like this question, but the producers are trying to get me to keep it in. Number 4, why do musicians love drugs so much? Why can't they play the guitar without taking drugs? What is the drug connection with playing a musical instrument or being able to sing? I guess that's what the question is.
I'm sure, not that I've been that of a singer, but it does give you that added texture of artificial confidence.
Okay, that's probably the best answer we've gotten out of that question, number 4. Number 5, what's the one thing you love about America? The biggest and the greatest thing you love about America?
What a great country, man. I mean,
Number 6, why are concert T-shirts so expensive?
It depends where they're shipped from.
Number 7.
Yes.
It's common for any lead singer. I don't know why these are all about bands.
Who are these producers that are writing this shit?
It's common for any lead singer to be difficult to work with. Are you difficult to work with, Jay?
I love stress. I love at the last moment type activity. So am I hard? No, I'm never sharp with people. I'm not sharp.
I've never seen you sharp with anybody.
No. But it's there. It's there. It's hidden, but it's there.
I was sharp with you in the beginning before we went on. You were out in the and I said, "What are you doing? Come inside. Sit down."
I was adjusting myself. I'm what do you call it?
Adjusting?
I'm feral. I'm feral. I gotta walk around the block just to check the place out.
Yeah, you started to leave. I said,
That's
we start
right.
at 1 o'clock.
That's right.
We start at 1 p.m., Jay.
I know.
Where were you going?
I was gonna go over there for a little cigarette and go over my
A normal cigarette?
A normal cigarette, yes.
All right. What are they? How much are they a pack now?
$8, $9.
You know how much they are in New York?
20,
Yeah.
$18.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Cigarettes in New York, they just keep taxing it and taxing it. I registered my motorcycle in California, a 1990 motorcycle. 1990 motorcycle is $130.
You don't want to know how much my Tesla was.
Oh, man. Over 500?
Over 1,000.
Oh, my. California. It's true when people say California is an expensive place to live. $130 for a motorcycle that's how many years old? 1990.
Wow.
I mean.
30. Wow. It just tells you the quality of.
But it's the weather. I mean, you cannot beat the weather.
It's the weather.
And
It's
then,
true.
you know, it's just beautiful. Okay, number 8. Have you ever used a handicapped stall in a public restroom, Jay?
No, never.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm pretty good with that kind of thing. I like to be pretty immaculate with my doing something chintzy like that. If it was,
Oh, you think that's chintzy?
what, to use the handicap?
Well, if you don't see anybody in a wheelchair, what the heck?
Oh, I think I've done that. I think I've done that.
Number 9. Why do Europeans shower less than people from other countries?
Why do we do that?
No, why do they do that?
No, I'm going to say, why do I do that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why do I think a lot of people who don't shower, it has to do with OCD, obsessive compulsive, neurotic, downgrading of one individual. So, what was the question?
Number 10.
Yeah.
We had a big problem. We had a guest on who did number 10, and we got a response we really weren't prepared for.
Yeah,
Number 10.
yeah.
Do you hate your mother?
I just lost my mother about a year ago.
I'm sorry.
So, you know,
What was her name?
Ruth.
Ruth,
Ruth.
okay.
Ruth.
Sorry.
Man,
I just lost my sister in August,
Yeah.
June 30th.
yeah, no, do I love my mother? I mean, I just, you know, like everybody else would say, you know, there's not a day that goes by. There's not a day that goes by that I don't, you know, and it really
You're
is.
not mocking your mother's passing, are you?
No, but I'm saying from other people. There
Right,
wasn't a day
right.
that, you know,
Right.
that's usually what you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was my mother, and I realize it more and more, and I see this little 4'10" little woman, and she lived a long life, and she had a good life, so. You know,
How old was she when she passed away?
1995.
Wow. God bless
You
her.
got good genes.
Yeah, 95 years old, so.
How old was your dad?
Early, he died young, 69, 70, something like that. So there's the balance. So yeah. So
So you don't hate your mother in any way, in any fashion?
through my lifetime,
You can include your lifetime, yes.
Well, I'm not here to divulge. You know, I was an unruly.
Well, you're here to be truthful, Jay.
Yeah, a little bit of an unruly kid. You know, I had to be.
So
monitored.
there were times that you hated your mother growing up.
I hated the whole family. Hated everybody.
Hated
you know,
everybody.
Hated everybody. But you know,
But you loved the Beatles. But you loved the Beatles.
No, I like Sonny Boy Williamson. That's who I like.
And the bonus question for Jay London:
Yeah,
if you were a dog, what breed would you be?
mixed.
A mutt.
A mutt, definitely a mutt. But again, feral. I'd be outdoors. No, if I were to be any little dog, I guess it would be a true-hearted dog.
And I'm going to do something.
Springer.
I'm going to do something that we haven't done before. I'll get to you in a minute. I want to give him the master list. Do you mind if I ask you 10 more questions?
Go ahead.
Because you were so good on those first 10. I really like the way you just, you know, you get some guests that they don't know how to communicate.
I'm sorry.
Number 1, where would you go in the world if you had an all-expense trip? This is souvenirs, taxis, hotels, gratuities, restaurants, food, clothing, tickets, show tickets.
Well, I guess it would be Europe. I mean,
boat trips.
I've been throughout
anything that would cost on a trip. You know, the to and from transportation, to and from the airport,
Rome. I want to
the
go
flight,
to Italy.
the flight.
Italy.
If you bought something duty free on the plane,
Italy.
any expense, 100%.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
Europe. Yeah, Italy, basically.
Have you been to Rome?
No.
You got to go.
Thank you.
Number 2, do you like blonde or brunette or black? Brunette is black hair. Don't let anybody tell you it's brunette. It's just black.
It's always been dark-haired types.
So it would be a brunette, or
yes.
a woman with black hair.
Yes.
Because I don't know what brunette looks like. I see a
brunette is
picture of a brunette and it looks black to me.
It's
What do
br-
you're a stylist, isn't that true?
Brunette's
Yeah,
brown.
Brunette's
Ash-
brown. It's a dark hair.
Ash brown?
It's dark hair.
Yeah, it's a
Brown,
dark
black.
brunette it's a made up thing for women.
That's-
It's
yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as brunette. You're either blonde, dirty blonde, or you got black hair or brown. But
Yeah.
brunette? Oh, that's a brunette. That's a
You
Hollywood
don't
made
even
up.
hear that word anymore.
It's stupid. It's just stupid.
It's funny.
Number 3, what is your best comedy experience?
I would think my best was at
Actually, this is 20 questions now. Yeah, go ahead. What was your best comedy experience?
cerebral palsy on 23rd and Lex in Manhattan. They did a comedy show, and the people who are there, they wear helmets. So if they react, sometimes they hit their head on what do you call it? On their desk or whatever. And just to make them react the way I made them react. And I've had that happen with Sloan Kettering over in...
That's great. That's great.
I've gotten more out of benefits. This thing I find...
Volunteerism. That's right.
I made more in my heart than I ever did financially in reality.
That's how I felt when I was doing it the USO thing.
You know,
I got so much more out of USO. Is everything all right? What happened?
I'll be right back.
All right, go this way, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
Is everything all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally.
I want to ask you questions too, so
Okay.
please come
I
back.
think you already asked her those same questions.
Oh, maybe we can.
Yeah, I don't want to... please.
So that's great. That's great about. I feel the same way about volunteering. What happened to her, Redban?
She had to snap one off.
What's your favorite movie star? Number 4.
My favorite movie star. Who do I really get a... Well, it's always been Brando.
Did she get a call?
No, she had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, she.
Brando.
She had to use the-
I'd have to say...
I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
I'd
What's
have
your
to
favorite
say-
movie star?
I'd have to say De Niro. I like him in a lot of different movie parts.
Number 5. What is your favorite movie?
One of my favorite movies. I like a movie that hardly anybody really ever knows. I mean, it was John Huston's last movie, the director John Huston, called Fat City. Fat City. It was Beau Bridges or the other Bridges, his debut, and it was called Fat City, and I thought it was a great movie. Fat City. Stacy Keach, a very young Stacy Keach.
Oh yeah, black and white, right?
Movie's black and white.
What is your favorite subject in high school?
Geography.
Yeah, I like that too. I got a map at home I have on my thing. I love looking at countries and I love looking at
Capitals and all that.
capitals and seeing just how big they are. And number 7.
Yeah.
Are you a Jehovah's Witness?
No, I'm not.
Number 8. We did this one already.
What?
Well, I have to ask you again because it's on here. Even though
Yeah.
Number 8. I'm sorry if I have to ask you again.
No, please.
Do you hate your mother?
Not at all.
Number 9. Do you hate your ex-wife? Doesn't apply.
Well, she was like my ex-wife. No, I don't hate her. I'm just I don't like the way it went down.
You don't like her style.
She moved to Australia, never heard from her, and whatever.
Right. Number 10. Have you ever considered hurting yourself?
I'm doing a bit, but I was dating myself for about a year, and then I said after the first date I could do better and this and that, and then I started talking about hurt myself. I would wear, now I'm not wearing them any long sleeve shirts, because sometimes when I was dating myself, I would, beat myself up here and there. I give myself a beating here and there. So have I ever, I'm always hurting myself, to be honest with you, in a way. But something
And your
else.
bonus question,
Yeah.
this I guess would be number 10 and 10 is 20. This would be 22.
There you go.
Bonus question number 22.
There you go, man.
One law, if you could change, what would it be in America?
It would be profiling, man.
Profiling.
Maybe white, black, green, whatever. To be profiled, to be tabulated, to be scripted as, just because, it's that old don't judge a book by its cover. I don't know what law that falls under. But to be accused of something, that kind of thing.
Law. It's got to be a law. What law would you change?
The law of accusation.
Okay.
The law of accusation. To be accused, that's all.
And would you like to tell us something that you want to tell us? We're going to finish up soon. And do you want to present anything, or something on your mind, or something you want to promote, or something, anything you want to bring up, being an activist and an artist and a beautician, or anything that's, it's, this is your time now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like getting involved. I would say, especially more local election-wise things. I know election time's coming up. You're talking about voting. and how important it is to kind of like be aware of local policies, I guess, and kind of staying up on that, even if you maybe don't necessarily agree with like the two-party system right now. That's kind of like where I'm at, I guess, is just trying to get more involved that way.
And is there any place someone who can find you on the World Wide Web?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my art Instagram. I'm the worst. I don't have like a real website, and then I have like my main Instagram too, which I have more activist stuff sometimes. So that's cool. I think it's under the second one. Yeah, that one's fine. It's fine.
It says
effortless, softer self. It's an anagram. So
effortless.
If you mix up all the letters in effortless, you make up softer self. I've had that forever, but it's fine. It's mainly a thirst trap thing. Again, luring you in. But then I'll probably post a lot more activist stuff.
And again, people may see some of these photographs and say, "Wow, that's a little bit risque, perhaps," but it's about the art form.
Right.
And the body and the beautiful woman's body is art. I think everybody would agree with me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be standoffish. It's something that needs to be grabbed and reached out and pulled in.
Grabbed?
You know what I mean? You know
The
what
subject
I mean?
matter of the
enjoyed.
person.
Maybe
Enjoy. You sound Italian. Enjoy.
To be appreciated. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, I figure, my sister always told me, she's like, if you got it, flaunt it. Like, who cares? Like, I'm like, all right. That makes sense.
Now, how about you, Jay?
She sounds like she has no hang-ups or bang-ups. You must have been brought up in a very healthy home.
Jay?
I don't know about
Jay,
all that.
you want to tell us, close with whatever you want us to find you, or anything you want to say and present yourself?
In closing, I want to thank you, Brian, for giving the opportunity. Redban, thank you very much for your engineering and input.
Do you need a ride home?
And if that's all right.
How far is it?
Let me just stop over here to this Italian little restaurant and get my food, and I'll find home like a dog.
No. I can run you home. I can run you home.
So your question, I want to thank everybody here, and had a great time, and it gave me a chance to express myself. And thank you, man. And
Did you have a good time, really, Jay?
Yes, I did.
Good,
and it keeps you oiled, and I need to be oiled. Meaning, it's still a form of.
I think we all need to be oiled, isn't that right? Certain areas.
Go.
Thank you, Redban. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Dead Air. Be safe, and we'll see you and hear you next time. Bye-bye. Bad Ashley.
Watch your